Hey nerds, welcome back to Intergalactic Learn with the Nerds Day. My name is Amelia Roberts, and in this session, we are going to be talking about all things Copilot. Go figure, the Copilot Queen is back talking about how we can incorporate Copilot into our lives to make everything a lot easier and to really help us throughout our work days. Now, there are a few ways I'm going to be implementing Copilot today so that you can kind of see the spectrum of options that Copilot presents. You are going to be able to, by the end of this session, decide which one will work best for you, for your situation, for your organization, and go out there and be able to create something that is specific for you and your organization. Now, we are going to start with what I consider the easiest option and then work our way up to the one that is going to be the most amount of work. For every single one of these options, though, the number one question I always get asked in my YouTube videos is, what about licensure? You will need a Microsoft 365 Copilot license in order to access all of these scenarios. So if you do not have that already, there aren't really any trial offers. You will have to obtain that before you're able to access any of the following that I am going to show today. Let's go ahead and jump into it now, starting with Copilot Business Chat. So here we are in Copilot Business Chat. When you are accessing Copilot in the web browser, you have two options. You have the option to use the free web version, or you have the option to incorporate Copilot into your Microsoft ecosystem using Copilot Business Chat. So you can see up at the top of my screen, I have a web toggle and a work toggle, and I have moved over to that work toggle. When I'm on that work toggle, I have fully integrated into my Microsoft ecosystem. So my Copilot is now tied to everything within my organization. This means I can reference people within my organization. I can reference files within my OneDrive. I can reference Teams meetings and emails in my Outlook. I can reference all of these, ask questions specifically about it, and it will give me information based on that. Also, whenever you're talking to Business Chat, it is going to look through the information within your emails, your Teams, your OneDrive before it goes out into the World Wide Web to find answers. So you can see a difference between if you ask the same question in the web that you do the work, you are going to see a difference between those two answers big time, just because the knowledge source that it is pulling from is going to be much more specific to you and your organization. So here I am in Copilot Business Chat. I want to ask it about some of the documents that we have been utilizing throughout today. Now, earlier in the day, we have been using this Excel spreadsheet throughout our day in various situations. Allison also uploaded some different documents in regards to our project management to her SharePoint site. I have all of these documents also in my OneDrive. I have everything all linked together, so they are sitting in there ready to be referenced for me. I highly recommend, if you do not use OneDrive and you're looking to use Copilot, start saving everything to your OneDrive. Sync that OneDrive to your local drive. It will make your life 10 times easier. So to reference a document or reference anything using Copilot, all I have to do is a /. Now it's going to give you like the top 10 options under each thing. So you can see people. It's going to give me some of my coworkers, files. It's going to give me some of my files from my OneDrive that have recently been used, some recent meetings, and some recent emails here as well. Now, I want to use a file. I can look through here and I can see that the file I want is actually right here. If it doesn't show up there, you simply just have to start typing the name of the file and it will come up. So I'm actually going to do that here. I'm going to do learn. And you can see more and more things have come up here. So I'm going to go ahead and select this Learn with the Nerds 2025 data set. And I am going to ask it a simple question about this data set. So I know there's some information about there on specific people and what projects they're on. So I'm going to ask it about something like, what is the status of Project Alpha? So we can see it is going to take a little bit longer to comb through this information that's in your OneDrive. A lot slower of a process than it is just using the web version of Copilot, but we can see right here, the status of Project Alpha is that all tasks have been completed successfully. The project aimed to enhance the company's cybersecurity measures. All of this is good to go. Who worked on this project? Let's see if it can retrieve a little bit more information. I would like to send a congratulations email to the people who worked on this project if I can. All right, so here we go. It's telling me Courtney, Steven, Dylan, Chris, and Aiden all worked on this project. Since they completed this project and it's all good to go, I want to make sure I congratulate them and send them a little email saying, good job finishing that project. I could ask even more about the different documents that came in our SharePoint because those same documents are uploaded to my OneDrive. So Courtney here did some great things for this project. I'm thinking about possibly, if I were her manager, I would think about promoting her. So I think I'm going to ask more about Courtney and see if I can pull the information from the employee profiles. So I am going to say, tell me more about Courtney. And then I'm going to reference the employee profile here. Maybe this can give me a little bit of insight. And here we go. Courtney's an IT professional based in Montgomery City, Missouri. Gives me a little bit more information about her. She did awesome on the project. So I can access the documents. I can access a little analysis about the data in that spreadsheet. And I can get these answers fairly quickly with the documents that are in my OneDrive. Now, this is pretty simple. Business Chat is available in more places than just your web browser. You can also access Business Chat within Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Outlook. Copilot Business Chat can do things much more efficiently and consistently, which eliminates some human error that you could potentially come across. I also found these documents a lot faster than digging through my OneDrive and looking up the answers myself, so that saved me a lot of time. So now that I have looked at some of this Excel data, I have asked about Courtney's background, I kind of want to write her a letter telling her that I would like to schedule a meeting so that we could talk about a promotion within the company. So I am going to actually ask Business Chat to create this letter for us. Let's go ahead and check it out. So I want to combine the information that I got from Business Chat, and then I wanted to formulate a letter of intent for Courtney. So let's prompt. So here is the prompt I'm going to give. Spelling errors and all, because spelling errors happen. Nobody's perfect. You don't have to be perfect. With Copilot, it will autocorrect. It understands human error. Let's check it out. Using the information above about Courtney, I would like to write a letter offering her a promotion in the company. She did a very good job on the project and has the background we need to do the job. Can you write me a letter template? Let's see what Copilot comes up with for us. Now, Copilot is iterative, so it is going to look back on everything that we've already talked about. If I do not want that considered in this template, then I would need to hit New Chat and ask Copilot a prompt from there. So here we go. Hey, Courtney Patterson, hope this letter finds you well. Since joining the company in December 2011, that sounds great. The role at Midwest HQ. So it's kind of pulling these things in. You can see this is definitely a template. It's got some openings, new job title, my name, my job title, company name. It has everything in there. Now, this is pretty much ready to go, but I'm kind of old school. I want this in a Word document so I can print it out and give it to her. So I am actually going to ask Copilot to put this on a Word document. All right, so I asked it, can you turn this letter template into a Word document? It's executing the task, create Word document it with provided. So here we go. It is saying, sure, I've created the promotion letter for Courtney Patterson as a Word document, and there you can see it already created for you. Looks good to go here. So I can just open up this file. It's going to open up a Word document, and it has the letter written out for me. All I have to do is fill in the blanks, and we are ready to go. How easy is that? So you can do this with a variety of different things. You can combine two documents into one document if you want to. You can take a document and you can create it into a PowerPoint presentation if you would like that. It will also make Excel spreadsheets for you, which is sometimes a little wonky, but it actually works, especially when you need something like practice data or a very small data set to do something with. It's great for that. So just some options here in Business Chat that you can do. Definitely check them out. Let's head over to option number 2 for accessing the information that we have for our project management team. Option number 2 that we are going to try are SharePoint agents. SharePoint agents are AI-powered virtual assistants designed to streamline information retrieval and automate routine tasks on SharePoint sites. They can answer questions, summarize content, provide insights based on specific SharePoint sites or document libraries that they are associated with. Users can create custom agents tailored to their needs, enhancing productivity and collaboration within the organization. So earlier today, Allison made this gorgeous SharePoint site, and on it, she has our 2025 Learn with the Nerds. She put some different documents in here. She showed you around SharePoint and how to use it. I am going to add just one more little feature to it to make it above and beyond. And my friends, it is so easy to do. So over here in the new, I am an admin on this site. An owner, I think, is the correct term that Allison gave me in order to access this ability, but you go to new and then there's agent right here. When I click on that agent, it is going to create an agent for me for this site. Now that's as easy as it was. It says your agent is ready. You can use, share, all of that good stuff with your agent. Edit your agent to manage relevant sources, behavior, and sharing options. Let's go ahead and hit edit and see what's in here. Now I can change the name of this agent if I want to. Let's go ahead and change this to Galactica. For Intergalactic Learn with the Nerds Day, why not? I can also change the image if I want to. Let's go ahead and change that too. I think I've got a really good little image here of some of us flying in a UFO. And then I can describe the purpose of the agent by giving it a description if I want to. Descriptions and instructions within some of these agents and bots are very, very beneficial. So definitely do your homework. Do a lot to put into this. I'm fine with this the way it is. I don't want to get too crazy in here. I want to show you how simple this can be, but you can also test the agent over on the right hand side if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and add this and then test it, but you can also see there is added advanced customization in Copilot Studio. We are not going to launch into Copilot Studio today. I'm trying to keep you guys on the simplest abilities as possible using Copilot in these features. So let's leave this the way it is. We also have sources in here, so I can add other SharePoint sites if I want to. I can talk about behavior in here as well. So there are some starter prompts that you can see over here in our test bot. I can change this if I want to, but I'm kind of fine with what's in here for now. And remember, instructions are important. We're going to talk more about that when we get to Agent Builder here in a little bit. So remember what I talk about during Agent Builder and keep that in mind for any time you're putting instructions for any agent that you create. So let's go ahead, save this, and let's get it going. I really want you to see what this looks like once it happens. I'm going to go ahead and click out of this X, and then here we go. Our agent has been created. Now, here is pretty much a custom agent for this specific SharePoint site. So I can ask it questions about things that are within the SharePoint site. Within our SharePoint site, we have documents, we have employee profiles, project descriptions. So I can even ask, tell me about Project Alpha. I remember Project Alpha is something that is within our Excel file. It's also described in our project descriptions. So let's see what all it says in here for us. So it says Project Alpha is an initiative aimed at enhancing the company's cybersecurity measures. It tells us the goals of the project. I could probably even ask who is assigned to this project. And there it is. It's giving me almost the exact same information that Business Chat gave to us earlier, which is a good thing. It's always a great idea to kind of cross over and make sure you're getting the same information everywhere you go. I can ask too, what projects are not completed yet? Let's see if it can get us this information. I'm trying something a little different here, so we'll see if it can figure it out from the Excel file. So based on the latest information here, we've got some projects in progress, and then we have some projects that were aborted completely. So this is some good information. You can quickly come here, ask questions about your data, get a quick analysis, get some quick information, and I made this bot very quickly as well. What else can I do with this bot? I can copy a link for Teams, so I can share this agent within Teams if I want to. So I can copy this for Teams. I'm going to go over to Teams, and I am going to share this in a post in my Learn with the Nerds chat right here. So I'm going to say SharePoint agent, Learn with the Nerds. And I am just going to pop it in here. I can also, if I want to, so now this is showing up here, but notice this grayed out here. It says add this to chat. If I send this in a chat, you can add a SharePoint agent to a chat within Teams, which is so incredibly cool. I am not going to do that in this instance, but if you want to try it out, go for it. It is that easy. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. Let's head back to SharePoint really quick and see what our other options here are. I can edit the agent. You can see all the chat history that I've had. Now, you can see a bunch of other ones that I have from other SharePoint agents that exist. It all kind of comes together in the same spot. It does not separate what I have talked to an agent about depending on what site I'm in. It is all within one. So far, we have looked at two different options. We have looked at Copilot Business Chat, where we can just access our documents, reference them, and ask questions about it. Now, we have also looked at SharePoint agents, where we have to be in the SharePoint site, or we have to access the bot via Teams in order to ask questions about the documents and files within the SharePoint site. Now, both are great options, but there is one option left that you can utilize, and it is called Copilot Agent Builder. Now, Copilot Agent Builder is within the Copilot Chat ecosystem, so you can access it within Copilot Chat, which means you can also access it via Teams, via Outlook, via browser. Let's go ahead, dive into this. Now, I saved this one for last because it is the most work. The other two options, Business Chat, zero work. You just ask questions. SharePoint agent, very little work to create the agent. Now we're getting into a whole nother level where we need to map out exactly what we need to do. I like to call Agent Builder almost a watered down version of Copilot Studio. It is like Copilot Studio had a little baby that could kind of do what it did. It is in the works to do a lot more eventually and to incorporate Copilot Studio, but for now, it is a very watered down version of Copilot Studio. Let's head over to Copilot Chat and create an agent within Agent Builder. So here I am in Copilot Chat, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pop out my panel, and there is going to be not only the list of all my previous conversations, but there is this Create an Agent button. When you click Create an Agent, it is going to open up some options. You have a list of templates that you can use. You have a career coach, an insights assistant, or an idea coach. I actually do not want to use any of those. I am going to skip over to configure, and I am going to customize this all myself. Now, I am going to start by calling this agent. We called the other one Galactica. I am going to call this one Galactic Guide. And I am going to give it the same image that I gave the other one as well. Give it a little customized option here. Now, the important thing for you to know is you do need to give your agent a description and instructions. And these are both very important to the creation process of our bot. So I am going to start by giving it instructions, and then I'm going to use the instructions to create the description of the bot as well. When you are creating instructions for an agent within either here Agent Builder or even within Copilot Studio, you need to incorporate specific parts in your instructions. First off is role. You need to define the purpose of the agent. Second is scope. You need to specify what the agent should do and also what it should avoid. Number 3 is context. Give it background information about the agent. Also, refer to the knowledge source in which it is pulling the information from. Next up is tone. You should let the agent know how it should sound, whether this is being friendly or concise or even professional. Last up is error handling. You should tell the agent how it should handle when it comes across something it is unsure of what to do. Now, the most important part about Copilot Chat is making sure that you are prompting it the correct way. You should provide 4 separate parts of your prompt. The first is a goal, second is context, third is expectation, and the last one is optional, but it is a source or a knowledge base to pull its information from. Now, I am going to give it most of this prompt. If you need a review on prompt writing, I do have a YouTube video for you to check out. Let's go ahead and look at the prompt that I've created. Remember that the more specific your prompt is, the better your response is going to be. Making a project management assistant agent in Copilot Studio and need instructions for the bot. The agent is tied to a SharePoint that contains a variety of documents. The documents include Word documents and Excel spreadsheets. I want the bot to be able to answer questions regarding these. It should be able to pull project descriptions, employee profiles, and analyze the data in the Excel files. Instructions should include roles, scope, context, tone, and error handling. I have set those expectations based on what instructions need in order to do their best. Let's put it through and see what Copilot comes up with. And it's already popping everything out for me. Now, Copilot's default is to provide things within an outline. So there are a few options I have here. I can copy and paste this entire thing. So role, scope, context, tone, error handling. What I'm going to do here is I am simply going to copy and paste this into my instructions. So I can take all of this. Sometimes it will give you a different format in which to copy and paste from. either works as long as you get some good instructions. I'm going to give these instructions to my agent. It is able to take almost 8,000 different characters, so it took that all, no problem, no worries here. The next thing I want Copilot Chat to do for us is make a description. Make a description based off these instructions. Keep it one sentence. The bot operates within corporate SharePoint environment to retrieve information, analyze data, manage profiles, and describe projects, ensuring professional, helpful, and empathetic interactions while handling errors effectively. Not the greatest description of this bot, but I am going to take it just so my end user knows exactly what they're getting. And let me show you where this ends up going. Once I put this description in and click off of it, you will see your testing pane over on the right-hand side come to life. It says Galactic Guide. The bot operates within corporate SharePoint environment to retrieve information, analyze data, manage profiles, yada, yada, yada. Everything you put there is there. Your image is live, and now you can actually test your bot and ask it questions. But I haven't quite tied it to any knowledge source yet, so let's do that first. I'm going to scroll down here and you're going to see a knowledge section. Now, the knowledge sections in which you can incorporate are a little bit different than Copilot Studio right now. You can browse for files, you can add a public website, or you can add a SharePoint, which is exactly what we're going to do. I am simply going to refer to this SharePoint site right here. You can only go 2 layers deep, so make sure it's only got a couple slashes in it. So we're going sites and then 2025 Learn with the Nerds. That's as far as I can go. It is going to look through every document on that site. So make sure if you're using SharePoint as a knowledge base that it's nice and organized and it's able to sit through it pretty simply. I can also turn on web search so that if it isn't going to find the information within my SharePoint site, it can go look on the web. I do not want that. I only want information to come from my SharePoint site for this agent, so I'm going to let that be. You can also turn on code interpreter and image generator. I don't need those for this bot, but that may be something that's interesting to you. And then once I come down here to starter prompts, this is awesome. So right now you can see in my testing pane that it is kind of open and free. If you look at something like Copilot Chat, you hit new chat, you see these options to kind of start a chat. If you don't have any ideas or you're not sure what the bot can do, this is a great thing to turn to. So why don't we also provide that to our end users by giving them some starter prompts? So we can even say title, let's say project question. Give me an update on project. And then they can fill in whatever project it is that they want. Let's do another prompt. Let's do one for our employee profile. We can say, give me the employee profile on, and then our end user can finish the question. And let's give one more, maybe in regards to our project description. So describe project, All right, so I have my 3 starter prompts that can kind of help guide my end user into what our agent can do. If you continue scrolling down, you can see actions coming soon. So you're going to be able to launch this into Copilot Studio anytime here soon and be able to incorporate actions into these agents within Agent Builder, which is going to be a game changer. Let me tell you, it's almost like incorporating Power Automate into your Copilot chatbot. So exciting. All right, let's test this bot out. Let's start by testing one of our starter prompts here. And then, so it's saying, give me an update on project. Now, I put 3 dots because I wasn't sure how this was going to come across. And now I can see that it's putting it verbatim in. So I'm actually going to go through and remove these ellipses and put a space there so it comes out exactly how I want it to on the end user. So give me an update on Project Bravo. It's going to go look at my SharePoint now that it has been included, and we will check it out here. So it says, here's an update on Project Bravo. The goal, the outcome, unfortunately, this project was aborted status. The latest Project Bravo is no longer active. And then it's also going to show me project descriptions and Excel completed product. That's exactly what I wanted. It's referring to those areas in the SharePoint. So this is good to go here. Let's try one of our other prompts. I'm going to hit new chat, see how it turns out. Give me the employee profile on. And now my ellipses are gone. I've got that space and I can put whoever it is that I want here. I think someone's name is Steven on that list. Let's check it out and see if I'm right here. I'm not entirely sure. That document doesn't necessarily have every single person on it, but we'll see what it pulls for us here. Yeah, there's not a Steven here. That's kind of good to know. But let's try our last one. We have a project description. So describe to me project, I think there's one called describe to me project. I think there is one called row. Let's see if it can bring back some information on Project Row for us. I'm pretty sure almost every letter of the Greek alphabet is in here. And there you go. It's about the marketing automation tools. So once again, refers back to those project descriptions and the Excel file. So this looks good to go here. Testing wise, if I wanted to, I could also test it out by asking it some other things, but I'm pretty happy with what I have so far. So I am going to go ahead and hit create and see this in action. So as you can see, this took a little bit longer to create in the long run. It was much faster to just access those files via OneDrive or access it with a SharePoint agent. I got the same answers, but let's check out how cool this is in the end. So I do get this link and it says this link works only for me. I'm going to change these settings and I'm going to share this with anybody in my organization. This way, if they want to be able to access this information in this agent, they can. Now you can see over on my right-hand side, the Galactic Guide is available here in Copilot chat. Yeah, I don't even have to go to my web toggle or anything like that. Galactic Guide is right there and it can only reference that SharePoint. So I don't have to look up the different documents. It is going to instantly look through all of those documents for me, which is fantastic. I can ask it whatever I want. It's got these starter prompts for me. It is ready to go. What is also awesome here is I'm going to go to Teams and I can actually share this with other people in my organization. So I'm going to go to our Learn with the Nerds group here that we have created, and I am going to share the Galactic Guide. When I do this, it is going to pop up in the chat. They can select it. They can open it now with Copilot, and right here within Teams, you can see the Galactic Guide. You can see my Copilot chats come up. It is all here. There are my starter prompts ready to go, and I can access my agent here as well. Now, you can also access it through the chat in Outlook, and it is there for everyone. Since I have shared it with them in the chat, if they click on that and open it in Copilot, it will add it automatically to their Copilot chat, and they can ask it questions if they want to. So this is a really cool feature. It makes it very accessible to everybody. It's easy to share. Now you can only share within your organization. You cannot share with outside of your organization. So it's not meant to be one of those external facing bots. It is meant to stay internal, but it does make a lot of things a lot easier to do. In this training, we talked about a spectrum of options that you have to access your information from your organization. You can use business chat, you can do SharePoint agents, you can use agent builder within Copilot chat. And if you were with me a few months ago, I did do an entire training here on YouTube, building intelligent agents using Copilot Studio. You are more than welcome to check out that training. That is a great place to go to really expand the customizable options that you have using Copilot and Copilot Studio. Everything we did today is kind of a much simpler version of that option, but I fully understand if you want more. If you want something like autonomous agents or agents that can complete tasks for you, they're doing more than just answering questions, FAQs, connecting to one simple knowledge source, then heading over to Copilot Studio and getting that full training from my YouTube video is going to be what's best for you. I also want to point you into the direction of learning as much about Copilot and Copilot chat as possible before you start implementing these into your world. It is important to learn about prompting with Copilot, the different ways you can ask Copilot for things before you go jumping into this. We do here at Pragmatic Works also offer a variety of trainings in regards to Copilot. If you or your organization is interested in learning a lot about Copilot, how to implement it within your organization, how to utilize it. You just got this licensure and you're like, how am I going to incorporate this into my everyday work life? Pragmatic Works is the training company for you. We also provide a Copilot bootcamp here at Pragmatic Works. I would love for you to come check it out. We talk all about prompt writing, how to use Copilot within the Microsoft 365 suite, and we also do a couple days in Copilot Studio building out your very own virtual agent. I hope this session was helpful for you. I hope today was amazing for you. I look forward to seeing you in the future. My name is Amelia Roberts, your Copilot Queen, and I will see you in the next one.